Alright, what's good everybody? Welcome to the channel. This video is going to be a little bit different than things that I would normally do. I just really want you to understand who I am, and if you enjoy my perspective, perhaps you'll want to hang out with this type of energy more often. Now, to me, everything is energy, and how you do anything is how you do everything. So I'm going to do my best to teach you why I do certain practices or philosophies in my martial arts, which martial arts to me is understanding how to use your mind, body, spirit in any avenue. So regardless what activity or sport you're playing, if you learn these specific things through martial arts, you'll be able to apply it to that sport or to that activity, and it'll just help you understand yourself a little bit better, or maybe a lot better, depending on how much time, energy, and effort you put into it. So, like I said in a previous video, really not many people up front will be able to see how much time, energy, and attention I'm putting into my martial arts, but over the long-term horizon, you'll begin to see, and it'll be very obvious. So, to begin, my name is Ryan. I have written on the ground, you may not be able to see that part, but step number one for me has been rhythm, which is a play on rhythm, but ultimately rhythm is almost like your resting heart rate. We all have our own specific resting heart rate, and it's going to fluctuate depending on certain people, what type of activities you do often, what type of food you eat, or what type of radiation are you consistently taking in. We're in a world of technology. And remember, all these different technologies have different frequencies that play different parts on your body, your mind, your body, your spirit. So it's important that we remember that. And just as an investor, which you all are, I am as well, we all are investors of our time, energy, and resources, and your attention. And there's more, but just to give you the natural idea, the natural example, you're an investor of your time, energy, and resources. The smarter you become at investing in these different avenues, the better you'll be able to take on your real life. And martial arts does apply to your real life. It'll help you craft your discipline. It'll help you craft your creativity. So naturally, I do feel like we all should be working on something along the lines of this. And I do have a tutorial on how to build a double end bag, which I feel like is it's likely the best tool that you could put in a boxing gym. And it's because it has multiple uses, and it's a very effective tool. It's very efficient, and you can make it for about $80. So enough yapping on the bag. Actually, I noticed the internet makes everything look quite simple, but when you actually try it for yourself, you realize, oh, there's levels to this, which my natural philosophy is life happens in cycles on a spectrum. Now, I've never heard anybody say that, but the more along this journey I've gone, the more I started to realize everything has its own natural cycle. We all die at some point, and that's natural. You have to come to terms with that. But it also happens on a spectrum. And that just simply means there's levels to all these different things, which, mind you, I am a nerd. I have Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James right here. I wrote down all the different things that they do specifically and what they excel at. So just roughly, Kobe Bryant, he really cared about the statistics, probabilities. He played the mental chess match, and he was good at it. He knew if he put the work in daily over a long-term horizon, as opposed to somebody who maybe works out twice a week. He knew if he worked out every day of the week, but maybe did it to a little bit less extreme, which he did do it still extreme. But imagine if you was to work out and you went 140% on 2 workouts a week, and you didn't work out any other time aside from that. He knew, Kobe Bryant knew, if he worked out 7 days a week, but he maybe went a little bit less than you, and he did that consistently, eventually he would pass you up. And for somebody who maybe would start martial arts late, this is the philosophy you should have. Go into it. You only need to be 1% better every day. Let's say you wanted to make a habit of doing push-ups. Your goal isn't to get down and do 20 push-ups. Your goal is to do a push-up a day. And eventually you're going to get to a point where you're like, man, I could do 5. Man, I could do 10. And then instead of doing 1, what you built a habit to go down there. So naturally when you go down there, you get to choose based off of your mental state and kind of how you feel about it or what you think is doing for you. That's all going to be like playing into your motivations for it, which, not to get too off topic, but motivation, I do believe, is something that comes and goes because life happens in cycles on a spectrum. You're not going to be motivated every day, but if you go down there every day to do a push-up, eventually you're going to do 10, 20, 30. You might go for 50, bro. You might be one of the ones that go for 50, go for 100. So Kobe Bryant was that guy. He knew the mental chess match. He cared about it. He cared about probability statistics, ripped to a legend. Now on to Michael Jordan, which hopefully you can see. I think you can see the Michael Jordan poster. But he was a silky smooth assassin. He had confidence. He had his own charisma. He had like a powerful rhythm, which, like I said, rhythm to me is like a resting heart rate. So he would talk smack to you the whole time. He's making sure you hear him. And he is just proud of what he created, who he is, and that's why he was so dominant. He would go in the game and you gotta prove to him, not only spiritually, but physically. So that is a great skill in it of itself. And by keeping these different things around, it just kind of reminds you it's a mental note. I am a person who cares about writing notes down often and a lot. I have many notebooks that I've gone through and wrote full pages of, whether it be information. I've never been a poem guy, but whether it be like information on specific things I'm learning, literally like I'm in school still. I'm 26, didn't go to college. I own 3 businesses. I work from home. I created a martial arts gym in my basement. And martial arts is really what I want to do with my life. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be fighting people professionally, which could be a thing. But naturally, I feel like maybe enough people in my bloodline have tried that to where I really don't have any reason to go into it. But I would like to help others learn this and become one-to-one with their mind, body, spirit. So this is why we're here. If you enjoy any of the things that you're hearing, or you just want to hang out with me naturally, um, you support the movement by watching the video. In the era that we live in, most people are just watching information. And unless you're a YouTube Shorts person and you just watch mindless content, like I'm not talking about you, but for the people that are on the internet and they're just trying to like do better with their life, or they just naturally seeking longer form content, it's usually to hang out with people and be around their perspective, their energy. So this is why I feel I must put myself out there. Um, and I have prepared myself for any types of judgment. I've shed the fear of judgment. I'm able to dance in front of people now, especially with what happened in 2021 with the whole locked inside, regardless what country we're in, we all went through that. It has shaped society to be completely different, and it does seem like we're on that route, which is why all paths are connected. It does seem like uh, there's big things up ahead. So I do hope that you practice and work on your mind, body, spirit, and prepare yourself for whatever is possible or what is to come. This is the beginning of a new era, and most things are going to be run by AI. So becoming your best self is critical. And mind you, I don't know everything, but I'm one of the people who puts the time, energy, and resources into learning this. I do care about my own specific spirit. I want to do the things that make the most sense. I care about efficiency. I care about probability statistics. I write everything down. You can't see it now, but I have art because I bought chalk, which I'll show you right now. And one falls out, jumps out. But I bought a bunch of chalk, non-toxic, so I could walk right on top of it. I track down what's most important, whether it be your footwork, your coordination, or your rhythm. And you should be able to see I wrote down balance. And as someone who likes to take notes, it's just a constant reminder of the type of energy that I would like to be around. And I feel like from me doing this, perhaps I can share it with others who would like to be kind of on a similar path. And I'll do my best to be the constant or the median that helps you stay balanced. Now, mind you, is perfect balance ever a thing? I don't know. But we can do our best to get as close to it as possible. And like I said, I'm going to teach you through the avenue of martial arts, which martial arts to me is learning. It's like the art of self. You learn to use your body to do different activities, different sports. Um, and along the way, you practice many skills. So this is why your mindset, your perspective, I do suggest having an open mind when you come into stuff like this. And by doing that, it's going to keep you on the path of constant growth, which ultimately is what gets you where you want to be. You write down your long-term goals, and then you do the things that get you one step closer to that every day, which is like Kobe. You do it in a way where you want to go back tomorrow. This is why with the philosophy, if you was to do push-ups, you would want to do it in a way where you do one push-up and you know in your mind, your body, your spirit that you're going to go back tomorrow. You don't have to do 30 the first day and then not do any for a week. That's very unproductive. To be very productive, you must create the habit. There is speculation that certain habits are created over 28 days, 14 days, 36 days. Regardless what the philosophy or what the science has proven when you get down there, you're just shaping the habit of you going down there. How many you do is completely based on you specifically. And that is the thing that I learned. We're all different, but we're very similar, which ultimately I do believe we're more similar than we're different, but we are different. So that is the one thing that I had to accept. And that is the one thing that I accepted, learned, and moved past. So this is why my goal is to teach as precisely as possible. I understand what some of you may be thinking. Why would you want to learn from someone who doesn't specifically fight professionally? But if the things that I'm promoting are practical, they apply across many avenues, and I'm consistently promoting coordination, footwork, and rhythm, you can't go wrong. But understand, in a sport where you're fighting, protecting yourself at all times, having good defense, being able to deflect shots, counter, knowing to keep your head offline. But that's the thing. I do believe fighting is the highest risk to reward. And a lot of those skills are things that you can't teach, because if you don't want to fight, you're not going to be good at it. And some people just don't want to inflict damage on others. So respectfully, if you didn't want to use martial arts for that avenue, that is completely fine. But understand that there are many things in martial arts that apply to other sports, other activities. This is the one thing that's really made the agreement one-to-one. I feel the most free when I'm doing things like this, as opposed to playing basketball, which I understand some people's avenue is to play sports like that. But my avenue is to do something like this. As you can see, I'm barefoot. I'm a very grounded person. I've worked with dogs for a long time, and I now have 3 dogs. I learned a lot about the psychology of it, how to be a powerful leader, the things you're supposed to do to keep your whole group intact. They all looking to you for guidance. Some of them are nervous. Some of them want to fight. Some of them are bored. And ultimately, that taught me a lot along my journey. Meanwhile, I've been learning martial arts for about 2.5 years. So I do feel like I'm at a stage where I can start to help people and give back, but it all starts in the mind, which is why I enjoy playing chess. It's all about strategy, discipline, and all of these skills go hand in hand. And I don't want to yap too much, but I do want you to understand what this will be about, because I have made other playlists and videos where it was typically just about my progression, but ultimately it is about shaping the mind, being able to get people to understand what they want out of life, and being able to go for it. The goal is to teach you how to use your mind, body, spirit to achieve what you would like to do. But martial arts is the avenue because it applies to everything. And like I said, to me, all paths are connected. If you know anything about ants, I kind of feel like that's the best representation of what the human race is. We're all serving queens at the top that we really don't know, may never meet, may never understand. There's a lot of speculation around that, but I used to think we were kind of like rats in a maze, but it just really makes more sense that we're like ants and we're serving the queen. And like I said, you might never know the queen. You might just be holding your legs out, helping people crawl across you, and you never even question about the queen, because ignorance is bliss. But like I said, all paths are connected. So to me, I'm one of the people who tries to learn all the information possible. And it just seems like this part of the journey, I'm supposed to help others share the information. And what you do with it is completely up to you. I understand as a person, it's not my job to save anyone, but gatekeeping information has never been part of the plan. So with that being said, this does conclude episode 1. I'm going to have my full workout. Likes, thumbnails, subscribers. None of that really matters in today's day and age. It's all about your watch time, because the longer people watch, the more it gets promoted. And then the more comments and the more community that gets created down there, the better. So if you have anything you would like to say it in the comments. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a real one. You maybe feel the powers of my spirit, which I do appreciate. I try to be very straightforward, honest, and I just want you to be better. So I hope all of you take care of yourselves. Practice, work on your mind, body, spirit, become a smarter investor of your time, energy, and resources. Understand how you do anything is how you do everything. So practice safe habits, and I will catch y'all in the next one.